PlayStation 2 was a revolutionary console that changed the whole gaming industry. There were a lot of cool action-packed thrilling games released on PS2. To this day, some of these games are still played using emulators. This video features a list of the best top 15 PS2 games that will take you right back in time and smack you with that nostalgia feeling. Some of us also consider PlayStation 2 a birth of biggest insane gaming franchises. Alright, starting off with number 15 we have Resident Evil 4. This game is one of the top-notch sequel in the franchise. Resident Evil 4 created a role model for the franchise future. The game actually defined how amazing an action zombie shooting game could be if we combine multiple elements such as mechanics, gameplay, environments, and design. The game recently got a remake which was an absolute banger. Most of us hate Ashley missions. In fact, even I like the Leon campaign missions better. The game is much more focused on the straight-up action part rather than just running around in dark areas and solving puzzles. Despite that, Resident Evil 4 is still considered a shake-up for the series and maintained the horror element combining action shooting. The environmental areas are visually satisfying compared to the other games in the series. And now on number 14 is Okami. This game is a gem that didn't get as much limelight as it should have been on PlayStation 2. So yes, it's a sort of underrated game. The main story of the game will easily take you at least 30 hours for full completion. If you decide to take on all mysteries and side quests, it will take you longer than 50 hours. So, obviously there is no shortage of content in this game. The art style is so unique and fantastic. The music is absolutely beautiful. The brush technique is one of the best mechanics I've seen in a game and makes it stand out. Okami is easily a top-notch open-world game and is something that you will have to play by yourself to realize why it's so awesome. The graphics and landscapes were comparatively better than the other games of that time. Even the story is touching. Some players even cried at the final ending. This game will probably stick with you for a long time if you decide to experience it. Moving on number 13 is Final Fantasy X. Yes, the fan-favorite highly loved franchise. I will still say no one is more good-looking than Tifa and Cloud in the series. The 10th part in the series can be considered as something that introduced new changes in mechanics. The biggest highlights was the removal of active time battle from the series, which actually made the game more accessible. Even though Final Fantasy series is known to be the one that always brings up and shifts things in every sequel, the 10th part is considered the better one. I really prefer the story issue, as this time in the series, I understood the story easily and more accurately. Also, the cutscenes shall deserve credits, as the overall PlayStation upgrade made possible the new changes. All told, and Final Fantasy X is a solid, outstanding role-playing game in its own. The blend of combat, character building, environments, and developing story is absolutely perfect. Coming up next on number 12 is Silent Hill 2. It's okay people, if you haven't played the original you can play the remake real soon. This is one of the game that I've been patiently waiting for. I also recommend watching the movies. Silent Hill is one of the finest series. I really hope that one day it gets to the level of Resident Evil popularity. Just a few games, but the series still managed to shock the hearts of players. Remake is going to be insane. The original Silent Hill is a really well-defined horror game along with the craziest villains. Yes, I'm talking about the Pyramid Guy. I don't know man, the design of that guy is purely distinct and super cool. The story is mostly about the main character who is trying to find his wife in a place where no human life exists and the environment is covered in mist. One of the best thing is how spooky or crazy the overall characters and art design is. Few games have ever been able to capture raw fear, but this one succeeds brilliantly. And number 11 is Burnout 3 Takedown. This game comes as a break from all the open-world single-player super long gameplay. Burnout series has all the potential of becoming a decent action car racing game. Beware though, it's not a simple car racing game. There's a lot more in Burnout series. Ask yourself this question. Do you want to feel like a god behind the wheel and want to have no limitations at all? Then this game is for you. Crash mode is one of the craziest racing feature of all time. The amount of fun you can have and the damage you can do while crashing cars is nothing short of a miracle. The more the competitors or the more traffic there is, the awesomeness will increase proportionally. You can literally spend hundreds of hours trying to get the first place in this game. Moving on to number 10 is Tony Hawk's Underground. Now don't judge me here, but I never played a Tony Hawk's game. Don't get me wrong, the series is a masterpiece when it comes down to skating games. I have seen the gameplay and reviews and even saw my friends playing the games. It's the finest one out there. I guess I just am not a fan of skating though. I used to like rollerblades when I was a teenager. Underground is still considered to be the prime example of something that we can use as a preference for a new Tony Hawk's game. You will likely see all the previous features in the new ones. This one is a really good one from the series, though some may argue as it has mixed reviews. But I'd say Underground still managed to live up to its reputation. The story and humor were okay at best, but the new tracks and sounds made the gameplay so much fun. And number 9 is Beyond Good and Evil. It's no surprise that fans have spent ages waiting for a sequel to this game. Beyond Good and Evil is a PlayStation 2 classic, the mix of action and adventure and a distinct cast of weird filled with humor characters. No wonder this game will be the best. Despite being an underrated game because of several factors and a bad time of release date, the game still received a nomination for Game of the Year at the 2004 Game Developers' Choice Awards. Sure, the graphics can be a bit glitchy, but honestly for its time they were very good. You may not like this game right now when you're old, but if you were a kid you would have had so much fun while seeing the actions, moments, weird jokes and jump scares. Would recommend it to those who are into puzzle solving and thinking games. Up next on number 8 is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I am speechless. All I want is to meet someone who has never played this game. Nothing I can say can come close to what this game is for a majority of fans. Sure, you may like the GTA San Andreas better, but we'll get to that. Also, if you're a new-gen audience who like GTA 5 more over Vice City, well, you're in the wrong place. Sure, graphics and overall gameplay is extremely better in V, but what matters is the nostalgia and memories when it comes down to Vice City. The game is a god for the franchise. Comment down your favorite memories with this game. I'm not going to talk about anything specific like features, characters, or gameplay. I'd recommend just enjoying the gameplay video for this game. Think of it as a tribute. Also, no offense, but if you think I'm exaggerating, well, not really. I'm just saying the facts and giving the respect it deserves. Vice City and San Andreas are the only two GOATs of the series.
Surrounded! You really didn't just run away?
Alright, now on number 7 is Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's over! This is it!
One that proved that sequel can be extremely better. Even in 2024, Kingdom Hearts haven't lost its fanbase and popularity. Oh, and low-key, I never completed any Kingdom Hearts game. There were several times I came close but always ending up in some circumstances and just leaving the game. Nevertheless, Kingdom Hearts 2 offered the best combat of the series by mixing home magic attacks, signature keyboards, and much more. Also, I recommend playing the series in chronological order to get the full experience. Means you should play the first one before jumping in the second one. If you ask me why this game is widely popular, then hey, the simplest answer is the introduction of famous fictional characters like Aladdin, Donald, Goofy, Simba and even Jack Sparrow. Highlighted stuff will be the excellent graphics, catchy voice actors, the awesome gameplay and the overall story. And number 6 is Devil May Cry 3. No matter what happens, there can never be anything like the Devil May Cry series, and I mean the entire series as a whole. The developers may be able to copy some mechanics or combat, can even make it better, but nothing will come close to the stunning hack and slash insanely fast combat, badass characters, distinct weapons and play styles, thrilling battles and honorable mention Dante. Even the most basic features are perfect in Devil May Cry 3. The story is excellent with blend of dark and twisted elements. Comparing to other games in the franchise, the third part offers much more playstyles and creativity for the combat gameplay. You will shockingly find how many various methods are of killing different enemies, from fun ways to straight-up slashing action ways. The game is the best just after the final Devil May Cry 5. Moving on to number 5 is God of War. Yes, it's here, the one that deserves a lot of appreciation for setting up the stage for one of the most wonderful story and action-adventure gaming series of all time. Not to mention, the one that gave the fans one of the baddest gods. Let me know in the comments whether you like the axe or the Sparta blades. The original God of War is an all-out package giving the players everything they want from an action-focused video game. There's literally everything in the first game, such as some of the baddest awesome boss fights, coolest weapons of all time, puzzles and platforms, and of course Kratos. We may never have gotten one of the most insanely popular gaming series of new times if it wasn't for the first game. Personally, when I didn't have a PC, I played this game in a mobile emulator, and I know just like me, a lot of other players also played the game however they could in their teens. This explains the level of popularity of God of War.
Best you can do, Father! You send a broken mortal to defeat me, the God of War!
Now, on number 4 is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Yes, I know, another Grand Theft game in the list. But hey, no one can name the best PlayStation 2 games list without mentioning San Andreas. The game was a complete revolution. Yes, I still play this game occasionally. If it wasn't for the nostalgia for some fans, San Andreas is still considered the better original game that showed the potential of GTA series. This game has everything from one of the coolest main character who became a popular meme to highly explorable open world filled with gangs and action combat gameplay. The character weight, calorie tracker, high-speed car chase, heists, finest missions. There was a lot of overwhelming stuff in the game. The main character CJ is considered as the best and most famous protagonist from the entire Grand Theft Auto series. While all of the GTA series are classics in their own right, San Andreas is one of the most memorable open-world games ever made. The game also showcased what a PlayStation 2 is capable of. The gaming experience was at the peak. Alright, now on number 3 is Metal Gear 3 Snake Eater. I'm one of those players who never played the original and is now waiting for the remake. Metal Gear is a highly insane series that blends action, stealth, gameplay mechanics, and a vast world with decent storyline. You can say whatever you want, but in my opinion Metal Gear Solid 3 is the best game in the franchise. The addition of new features and the boss fights made the game more enjoyable. It was also a step back from the original second part, which still did exceptionally well. However, the highlight of Snake Eater is the storyline, which is something that you can only play by yourself and realize how good and touching it is. It's a cinematic experience. This game has some of the most unique bosses of any other game. To put it simply, Snake Eater is a graphically stunning video game with everything at its finest. And number 2 is Shadow of Colossus. If you don't know about this game, then you are missing out one of the best fantasy story games of all time. If only this game would have released in the recent years, it would have made a lot of sales. The biggest downside is the open world in this game.
It feels really vast but empty. You basically have to kill gigantic monsters, that's why the name Colossus. The storyline is highly touching and remarkable. I don't know why studios don't make these kind of games anymore. If someone wants to describe PlayStation 2 at its best, then you only need Shadow of Colossus and the other top 5 games in this list. Shadow of Colossus is not a game but an actual masterpiece art design. The play area, the environment, the architecture, all are revolutionary, especially for a game that is so many years old. I will only say 2 things. The first is please play this game before you say anything. Your opinions and beliefs about this will surely change. And second is that I want a remake of this for PC. Finally on number 1 is Bully.
And that's funny.
Yes, I have put this game on number 1, just because I wanted to. I'm not going to say whether it's the best one from all the previous mentions. but simply because of the whole concept of the game. The game is exceptionally well made, and the school setting made the entire experience magical. You can do almost anything in this game as a high schooler. Become the baddest high schooler of all time. Lifting girls' skirts, kissing them, stealing panties. That's weird to talk about. Drawing on public walls, attending classes and punishments, school fights and pranks. The game is literally the definition of fun. Also, yes, I still consider this a bit underrated, because only a few experienced old gamers know about this, and maybe the new ones too, but they might haven't played it. The graphics are a slightly low quality, but the game makes up for it with its exceptional details of the world and gameplay, and providing the players with hours of content. You will never run out of stuff to do in this game, and at the end, you will rule the entire school. Alright, now this is everything. These are all the beautifully designed, amazing games that are the best definition of how revolutionary the PlayStation 2 console was. You will find everything that you need in all these games. And if you don't, PS4, and even the remakes are coming up for some games. I would recommend. If you have some time, make sure to check out these games. You may find some comparatively low-quality visuals and graphics comparing to modern games, but will make you realize how far we have come in game development and how big the PlayStation 2 was. Anyways, in the end, if you have made it this far, please subscribe and also ask me if you have any questions regarding any gaming topics or want to know how you can play these games. Also comment down below the topics for the next video. Thank you.